Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. I have been enjoying a horror movie, sort of horror franchise, sort of marathon I've been doing. I did the Hellraiser films, I did the Howling films, and I'm doing a bunch, because there's a bunch of little franchises where they did like had one sort of hit movie, and then there's like two or three direct to DVD, direct to video sort of sequels. And maybe I haven't watched them, but I've seen the original. And now I can't even remember if I'd watched them. There's ones I bought, never had the time to watch, and I'm watching them like, I've never watched this before, whereas other ones I just forgot. But today's The Ring, or I watched The Ring about 2 nights ago. And of course, The Ring is a great film. The Ring is a classic horror film. It's brilliant. It was quite an expensive film. I didn't realize how big a budget film it was, and I think I'm like, okay, I can see where they spent the money, but I think they could have done this for a lot smaller. But it made money, so it's okay. It was very successful. It was based on, I think, a Japanese film, and I remember going to the cinema with a friend to see the two Japanese Ring films, because we had been marketed on somehow this Japanese film being somehow more sophisticated or more unique because it was a foreign film. They were marketing foreign films, and that's all it was. And when you watched it, it was pretty basic, and interesting story, interesting visuals, but just really basic, and we weren't impressed. The original, the American version is much superior. But yeah, they took the story from the other film though. So, okay, so it's really well shot. The whole film has like a green sort of filter, a blue sort of filter. It's really dark, and there's no color, there's no life to it, but it's well shot and haunting and quiet. And it's basically one woman's journey where she basically, the girl kills herself apparently, and she discovers that, oh, they have watched this tape, and when you watch the tape you get a call that says you're going to die in 7 days, and then you do. So like an unexplainable fool, when she finds this tape, she watches it. The first thing she does, I wouldn't have not have done that, and then she shows it to a friend, her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, father of her child. So then they of course have to save themselves, which is the film. Now, I would much rather have them stumbled across the tape and not known what they were watching, rather than walking straight into it, because it makes you a lot less sympathetic to them. But so there's basically a girl who has been killed, and you comes across at first as your classic ghost story where solve the mystery, sort of solve the problem, and the ghost goes away. And there's an element of that until the very end, where there's the trick ending, which I won't reveal just in case you haven't watched it. I know it's very unlikely someone's watching this who hasn't watched the film, but just in case, there is a bit of a trick ending at the end, a bit of an extra ending. I'm like, oh wow, a bit of a twist. I didn't see that coming. And then the second film is actually continuing the story, and Naomi Watts is playing the same character, the same actress playing her son. I didn't realize that because I'd never seen the second film. I thought I'd seen it, but I'd never seen it. I thought I saw it in the cinema, but I never did. This film, although it doesn't have the same style, it actually has colour. It's shot more like just a regular film, but it's done fairly well. Basically, the way they got out of the ring, which is you basically make a tape and then give it to someone else, and then they have the curse. Apparently they did this at the end of the last film, and now they are trying to start their life over again. So they've moved to another town, and basically the ghost comes back for the son, and now there's like a new element of evil children having to sacrifice evil children basically. And Sissy Spacek does a really great turn. I didn't even know she was in the film, as the grandmother of the girl, and basically she's like, your son is cursed, you need to kill him to stop this demon basically. And of course in the real world it just looks like child abuse and parents being abusive. So it's interesting. Won't give away the ending again just in case you haven't seen it, but the third film is less related. Basically there is a teacher played by Johnny Galecki who has uncovered this whole video, and he's created this little cult within his students of people who watch the video, and then they have to get a tail, which is someone to basically watch the video so they get out of it. And so this guy goes to college, disappears basically. His girlfriend comes to find him, and she does find him and discover that he's actually, a couple of days away from being killed. So she becomes the tail for him, and then they have to save her. And it's interesting. It was better than I thought. is kind of intriguing. Well done, everything about it. A bit more atmosphere than the second film because it was all bright in colour. This one was a bit better shot. Yeah, it's again not going to give away the ending, but I enjoyed it. I didn't know Johnny Galecki was in it. All three films were good. The story varies a little bit, but they do manage to keep it fairly consistent and believable. And the idea that basically it's now a digital file and can be anywhere is much more terrifying than just a video left in a cabin or something like that, because that was very retro technology even then. But loved it, glad I watched it. Can't believe I didn't watch 2 or 3 and was seeing them for the first time. But that's the great thing about this. I keep uncovering all these horror movies I haven't even watched that I've just bought and didn't have the time for and forgot all about. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.